Hello, friends. This is Mac Payne here, founder, owner, and operator of the Vietnam Veteran News Podcast, where we bring you news on a regular basis about the Vietnam War and the brave veterans who served there, as told to you by yours truly, a Vietnam veteran. I come to you in this short video to let you know I have just published another podcast episode over at Vietnam Veteran News. It is a good one. This one follows along the theme that was in the last video, 3305, where a Vietnam veteran who was a truck driver in Vietnam came home to the farm, worked on the farm for many years. After a while, he decided, we need one of those Army 5-ton tractors around here, just like the one I drove in Vietnam. He bought the truck, used it for many years, and then he decided to refurbish the truck as a tribute to Vietnam veterans and the country. It was a wonderful thing. And now, lo and behold, along the same line of thinking, a group of people in Green Township, Ohio, which is located just a few miles northwest of Cincinnati, Ohio, have gotten together and they have obtained an actual Vietnam War Huey from a salvage yard down in Alabama. They brought it up to Green Township in Ohio, and their plans are to totally restore this aircraft so that it will be ready for display next Memorial Day. When you look at pictures of this aircraft, you realize they have their work cut out for them, but I have a feeling they're going to make it. The local VFW post 10-380 is helping in the effort. And also, this is too cool for school. One of the individuals who is helping in the restoration flew in the same helicopter in Vietnam. That is an amazing thing. The purpose of this effort to restore this Huey is a wonderful thing. They're doing it to honor all Vietnam veterans and to educate young people about the Vietnam War and what all these veterans did over there. That's a great thing. One thing they brought up in this podcast episode is this. They got the aircraft at no cost, but it's going to cost an estimated $100,000 to restore it. And you know how that goes. When they estimate it'll take $100,000 to restore an old vehicle or helicopter or whatever, it usually takes $150,000. You always run into unforeseen snags in projects like this. So VFW Post 10-380 is looking for support. So if you're in the area of Cincinnati, Ohio, and you'd like to help out either financially or going in and help work on this old Huey, they would gladly accept your help. So that is what this latest episode of the podcast, number 3306, is all about. I encourage you to go over and listen to it, and maybe you might get enthused enough to help them with their project, or who knows, start your own Huey project in your town. It would be a great thing. Apparently, it's fairly easy to get local support. So why don't you think about it? To help you think about it, you can listen to the podcast episode, number 3306. See what they're doing up in Green Township, Ohio, to get this done. Also on the show notes for that podcast episode, 3306, there will be pictures of this aircraft. And when you look at it, you think, you really think they can get this thing rehabbed by next year? It's going to be a big job. I sincerely hope I can come back on the podcast and report to you they got her done. I will be following them to see how it goes. So please listen to that podcast episode, 3306. I made it easy for you to do that. I have set up 3 easy, quick methods that you can use to quickly access that podcast episode. The first one is the quickest and the easiest. Just scroll down below this 1965 version of a Philco TV set. There you should find a live link that'll take you straight to that episode. If for some reason you cannot locate that live link on the device you're watching this video on, no worries. All you've got to do is go to this URL, Vietnam-era-News.com. Go there, click on episode 3306, and you can be listening immediately and get inspired maybe. But wait, there is one more I have to tell you about. If you like to work with QR codes, you are in luck. I stayed up late last night creating a QR code just for you. So all you got to do is click on it and be listening. Here is the code, but don't worry about getting it now. I'll put it up at the end of this video and leave it up so you'll have plenty of time to find your phone, set up the camera, and point it toward this code, and then be listening instantly. So with that, I will say thank you very much for listening to this video. You have your marching orders. Go and listen to podcast episode 3306. And you have 3 easy ways to do that. But before you go, please do me a big favor. Like this video. The more people who like it, the more likely YouTube will put it up on their screen. And that's what we want. We want more people to know about these wonderful people up in Green Township, Ohio, and what they're doing to honor our Vietnam veterans and to honor our country. Another way you can help get more attention to this podcast episode is to subscribe to my YouTube channel. That'll do it too. So with that in mind, I will say thank you very much for listening to this episode. Here is the QR code. Go for it. Were you able to link up to the QR code yet? If not, don't worry about it. I will continue to display it just for you so that you will have plenty of time to point your phone camera at the code, click on the link, and start listening immediately. So go to it. That is it. I will end this video here and look forward to speaking with you again about my podcast, VietnamVeteranNews.com.